Happy Wednesday, Striver. Have you ever met somebody who just seemed to have a lot of peace or flow or ease in their life? Not ease like everything is easy for them, but just like they're comfortable in who they are. There's an authenticity there. It just seems like they flow in and out of the room. They go through stressful situations more centered, more grounded than other people. It's almost as if they just kind of float through life. Not that they don't take on challenges, but they're just so themselves. They're so secure in themselves that something must have happened in how they think about things. You ever seen that? You're like, wow, how did they get to that point? I think about this often when I meet somebody who seems to handle, conflict or difficulty or challenge with so much grace, so much aplomb, so much humor, so much care. And yet, at the same time, you can tell they don't care if everything's perfect. There can be a mess all around them. The kids can be screaming. There can be things going on. And they're just kind of a little bit, it's not that, I don't like that phrase that they're above it, but I think you know what I'm talking about, right? I've always wondered what that was. I was talking with a friend one time who seemed to have those attributes. And he shared something that I suddenly found myself really relating with. He said, it's because I'm just a simple man. And I loved that answer. That sometimes when you view life from a simple perspective, when you don't need a ton of things, you don't want a bunch of things from all sorts of people, you live maybe even a little bit minimalistic, if not in materialism, but certainly in expectation, life just gets a little easier. I remember I had to go dig this up. One time I did a post where I said, I'm a lucky man because my desires are few. I'd like a sense of aliveness each day to bring my mind into the day that I can feel the day. Sense of aliveness comes from moving my body. Sense of aliveness from having enthusiasm for something. I want to have a little bit of connection with somebody. I want to have a meaningful effort, a meaningful pursuit that day. And, I think you can do those things without trying to control the world. I try to feel the day, try to summon the best of who I am. And I don't feel like I'm chasing. I'm not trying to keep up with the Joneses. I'm not trying to chase the followers. If anything, I'm just trying to live consistently and simply to pursue my passions and to gain some mastery. When inevitably bad things happen or things interrupt that flow or that ease or that way of being, I don't really distort. I don't indulge in negative thinking. I don't think that bad things are only happening to me or I'm so special. I just know that, simply awful things can happen. And yet there's a chance every single day for us to reset our mind, reset our attitude, to fall back into who we are. I know many of you are listening who are Ultra members, and we just had an incredible private session with Ed Milet. Now, if you don't know what Ultra is, it's the highest level of membership here in Growth Day. It's where the real, achievers and people who are having high conviction for attaining the performance edge in their life go. And as Ultra members get 4 events with me each year that are exclusive and really incredible times together. And I also bring in Ed Milet as one of their coaches. And we were in a private session the other day. And he and I just got to riffing on what allows people to have mental, emotional, and spiritual strength in times of pressure or stress or difficulty, right before the match, right when the pressure comes on during the game, right when you got that important meeting or that difficult conversation, when you're a sports star or a CEO, when it's just that moment that you got to be awesome. How do you tap into that? And one of the things I shared with Ed that just resonated and he riffed off and I riffed off of was this idea that sometimes pressure pushes you out. that pressure, when it's on some people, when there's pressure on them, it's like their energy goes out and they get a little frazzled or frenzied and they're looking out and about trying to anchor themselves or figure things out. And other people, when pressure goes on, they go within and the pressure is there and they kind of get present. And I gave that language of they kind of lock in. And there's another level of what looks like it's easy for them because they're just in their zone, right? And so I was talking with my friend and bringing up some of these themes. And when he said, well, I'm just simple. I don't have a lot of high expectations. I asked him, well, what do you do when there's lots of pressure? How do you stay at ease? And it was an amazing conversation. He says, well, I'm able to stay at ease because, number one, I recognize there's so much nonsense in the world. I don't care about a lot of what other people care about. Status, fame, money, one-upping somebody, being superior or more competent or more perfect than somebody. He goes, honestly, there's just a lot of nonsense, and a lot of nonsense stresses people out. I even wrote it down. I'm looking at it right here in my Growth Day journal because I thought it was so funny. A lot of nonsense stresses people out. I loved it. I come back to myself. I just want a little aliveness today, a little connection today, some meaningful pursuits today. It's simple, right? But those simple everyday moments and lower expectations and not getting drugged into the nonsense of our own thoughts or of the world, well, it makes us feel a little better, a little more at ease. I wonder, is there something you've been carrying it's time to let go? You've been carrying a lot of heavy stuff and you just keep ruminating on it, allowing your mind to indulge in the negative thinking about it, because that's what your mind does. When your mind is in that place where it's just repeating negative thought patterns over and over and over, there's a reason for it. There's some mental payoff for why your brain is doing it. Sometimes it's just self-justification. Sometimes it feels good to sense that the world is unfair and I'm so special and being mistreated. Not saying that's for everybody, but certainly the mind does play tricks on us, doesn't it? So I'm wondering, is there something you've been struggling with that you can recognize some of the nonsense in it? You've been struggling to get the kids to do something. You kind of recognize, well, it doesn't really have to be that way. I just prefer it that way. You've been struggling to deal with something at work and you realize, well, I don't even actually need to deal with that. Maybe there's a challenge or a difficulty. Something's going on in your life and you can just go, how can I just meet that with more grace? How can I meet that with less edge and anger and anxiety? Because, life does flow. It does move on. There will be a new chapter, a next day, a new spirit. So I wonder, is there something that's been causing you trouble today that you could meet with a greater sense of ease, authenticity, flow, being centered and present again? I know it's a wide-ranging daily fire here today, but just that conversation I had with my friend kind of inspired me to riff on it with you a bit today, because one of the benefits of being in Growth Day is, for me, I actually get to share this with you. I get to share my own ahas and my own lessons, the things I'm learning. I don't do this in my podcasts or my YouTube. This is just you in Growth Day. And it's just an opportunity for, as I daily interact with the world, I get to share my own growth journey. And that was just one. I thought, wow, how interesting is that? That this person who has so much seeming ease through difficulties in life just doesn't get as stressed as some of us because he's more simple in his words. He doesn't have as high expectations. He recognizes a lot of the concerns are just nonsense of mind or nonsense of the external world, and why worry about it? Just got me thinking. I hope that you're dealing with life well. I hope that life is going well for you. I hope that whatever brought you into Growth Day, that commitment, that conviction, that passion for personal development, even just to explore yourself, to gain greater self-awareness so that one day you can have that greater self-mastery or that next level of success. I want to celebrate that. I see you, I hear you, I know you're here. I read the chats, I read the comments, I'm in the classes, and I recognize how hard you work. I recognize how much you want that ambition, that goal, that dream, that good life. And I really recognize that you're part of something important here in Growth Day. You're somebody who believes in a better future for yourself, and you're willing to do the work. And I celebrate that for you. I want to let you know I see that, and I'm proud of that, and I'm interested in that. And I can't wait to meet you out on the road one day. I know we have some upcoming live events. I'll see you out there. If you'd love to attend with us, just go to growthday.com/LA for the last of the shows of this year. I'd love to see you there someday, or one of our online classes on Wednesdays. Go to the Learn section here for our live class day. Maybe I'll see you in there. You'll be chatting with everybody and celebrating the incredible wisdom that we get to partake in every single Wednesday here in Growth Day. Just go to the Learn section, RSVP for the big class that'll come up, and we'd love to see you in there today. I just want to appreciate you for doing the work. When I say that every day is a great day to grow together, I want to let you know I'm doing that with you every day.